So I'm hanging out with my boyfriend. I don't know. We're having a disagreement. And this man started raising his voice. Ay, 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 ay. I'm like, what? I am not the one. Don't even. And I lost it. I'm like, don't you ever in your life think it is okay to raise your voice at me. Not gonna happen. Don't do it. That was the first and last time that Chimezie ever raised his voice at me.
Now, let me tell you the difference between you and I. If the roles were reversed and I told you this thing, it would be a 1 year fight.
It's true. Yeah, so it's been, I guess, quite a journey of of everything. But eventually, after meeting in Nigeria, spending a few years married in Nigeria, we had our kids, our first kids, our two kids really. We decided to move to the UK. I know I got a job, and you weren't. It took you a minute to reconcile that we were moving, and it was a big sacrifice for you as well, because you had to give up quite a lot as well for us to make that transition. And we now moved to the UK, and we're coming on 5 years now, almost 5 years in the UK. It's been quite a journey. Our first son was 2 years old when we moved, and our second was 10 months old. So it was really two young kids and just us. And I remember when we got to the UK, we were both working full time. The kids were always homesick from nursery. And I was trying to wrap my head around this new job. And it wasn't the easiest thing, like a whole new people, really different culture from what I'd been used to, and really different level of thinking as well. So there was a lot for me to figure out with the new job. And it was complicated in the sense that I wanted to be hands-on and help, because we didn't have any help. It was just us with the kids. And we're coming from an environment where we had two living nannies, we had driver, we had cleaner, we had gatesman, we had grandmas, we had aunties. There was so much help. So we went from being surrounded by a whole community and we a whole like paid help to just us, right? So the boys were in nursery, but then they would fall sick. The nursery would send them home. So there was the need for somebody to look after the boys who were really young and couldn't be left alone. And there was a need for us to work as well. And Chimezie was working, and so was I. And then I remember struggling to balance it all. And then Chimezie said to me, you know what, I will look after the boys, I'll figure them out. I don't want you to lose this opportunity, because he saw that I was really struggling with the job. Like I was really struggling.
What was that? We just came to UK. You were saying that it looks like we'll be going back to Nigeria.
I was really to give up. I was like, I think we should wrap it up and maybe go back to Nigeria. He's like, so after all of this, you want to give up? And he really encouraged me. He said, baby, that's why I love you. You're amazing. So I was like, yeah, that's serious. Well, he is though. So he was like, you know what? Let me figure out the boys. I'll look after them. You just focus on figuring out work and trying to get your head around it. And and I knew it wasn't easy for Chimezie, because he will be on call sometimes. Nato is crying and screaming in the background, coming, daddy, dad. It was just, but he's on calls and he's trying, because he was working from home. And then me, I had the option of going into the office. He didn't have that option. And it was really complicated because he was doing his full-time job and being a full-time parent. And he just told me, you know what, just focus on figuring out this job and doing well at your job. And if I didn't have him like picking up, there's so many things that I realized maybe when we finally settled, that I didn't even know how to do in that house. I did not know how to put on the dishwasher. I did not know how to put on what's that machine that washes clothes? Washing machine. I didn't know how to do all those things. I would just know that, okay, every week I had clean clothes. Every week, every day, the dishes were washed. I didn't know how it was getting done. I just knew that Chimezie was on top of it. I'd be like, oh, I want my clothes. I'll just see that the laundry basket is empty. Because it took me 2 years before I knew how to put on the washing machine thing. I didn't know how to do it. And then he'll say, okay, are you going to the office tomorrow? Even on top of that, he will help me still iron my clothes for work.
I kind of like ironing.
Yeah, you like ironing. I hate ironing. And then he would do the laundry. I just used to have clean clothes. How? I don't know. The kids always had clean clothes because he was doing all of that. And it's not like he also had a full-time job. And I now, just to figure out the job thing, I did a course with London Business School. So I had the opportunity to take on courses because I was trying to reframe the way that I was thinking. So I did a course in London Business School, and I also I was reading a lot as well because I was trying to figure out just how to do this job that I got, because I felt like I was failing at the job really badly. I just didn't feel like myself. And eventually I got there. I figured out the job. I was good at it, and then we settled a little bit. But if I didn't have, sorry, a partner like you, I would have made it. The job would have sacked me, first of all. Even if they didn't sack me, I would have resigned and gone back home. If I didn't have the support that Chimezie gave me. And I knew it wasn't easy for you because I saw how tired you were and stressed. And I tried to, times when I even tried to step in and leave the work, he wouldn't let me. He'll be like, no, 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 I got this, focus on the work. And I don't know if I've ever told you how much I really appreciate that. I have, though.
Yeah.
But,
Okay. Okay.
I really, really do appreciate that.
I mean, but what's
It was.
I appreciate your appreciation. But that's the essence of marriage and partnership.
Yeah.
It's being there for each other. And I think that the way we started our relationship and marriage was very important as well.
Yeah.
Because that foundation was always there. And I can say this without feeling any type of way, is that I think throughout our careers, from the time when we first met, to when we probably left Nigeria, you've been on a different trajectory, like a higher trajectory, but it's never come between us. Like in Nigeria, we had a joint account. And I remember, and that's where our savings was in. And I remember speaking to a few people and said, just mentioned it maybe casually or something that, we have a joint account. And people were like, what? Why? Like, as a man, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that, you're supposed to keep things away from your wife, you're supposed to do, what if something happens tomorrow? What if she leaves you? What if she carries the money and runs? And I'm like, okay, like, don't project your
insecurities. And I love that, you've always been really transparent about everything that you have. And so have I. I've always been really transparent. And, the period, especially in Nigeria, there was a lot of money. Like, there was a lot of money. And in that period, there was never any secrecy between us. Like, you had a lot of money. And it was just like, okay, this is how much. Like, I like that, especially with finances. You've always been, even when, and that was one of the things I really liked about, even when we were just early in our relationship and you got your Etisalat job, you showed me your offer. You're like, oh, this is what they're offering me. Do you think I should take it? And whatnot. And we had a very open conversation about it. So I'd always known how much you were earning. And because you started with that sort of financial transparency, it encouraged me to do the same, because I'd never done that.
I'm a sweet boy. So are you sure was that like the foundation for?
Yeah, because I'd never done that before. When you showed me your offer, I was like,
a real blessing to this one.
Is he really showing me his pay? Because I was like, I'd never seen that before. So for me, it was
Yeah.
really new. But that financial transparency really helps me. And always carried that even till now. Like, yeah, we also invest in property, guys. When we came, Tracy was really clear about our liquidity and what we will put into property and how we would invest. And every money that we make from everything that we have, like I see everything. And he single-handedly runs the property business. I don't do anything. I literally just maybe respond to emails or sign.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But the way you're saying this thing, it sounds like I'm an outlier, which I don't think I am or I should be.
Well, I had never seen a guy that like you. That was the truth. That's the truth.
Okay. Like, I listen to Clubhouse a lot.
Yeah.
I see takes on social media that I find very hard to wrap my head around.
Okay.
So these people are talking about, how women should only date six-figure earners. There's some really, really strong misguided takes I see there, where people say be secretive towards your partner, um, don't do this, don't do that. Some really, I can't remember all of it now, but I think that what I'm doing now is the way things should really be. Why hide anything from your partner? Because if you go into trouble tomorrow, your partner needs to know everything so that if something happens, your partner has enough information, to help out or to resolve the situation. And if I don't tell you how much I'm earning, when they say bring money for something, and I say I have money, you be like, how come? And then you now start arguing back and forth. But when both parties clearly know this is what is on the table, then it helps with expectation management, and all that. So
yeah. And I'll tell you something, right? You might think it's normal, but when it comes to financial transparency, I can only reference sort of the marriages that I've seen. So, for example, my parents' marriage. My dad died, God rest his soul. It's been about 2 decades since he died now. When he died, my mom didn't know what he had, right? And it was when he died, she now started trying to figure out where are his assets, what's in his bank account. But that knowledge was not there because there was no financial transparency in their marriage, and he didn't even leave a will. I don't think he didn't leave a will, but she now started searching and trying. It was quite odd, even for me as a young girl. I was like, this is quite odd, but I knew that if I were to ever get married, I'm not gonna do that. Where I'm like, I don't know anything my husband has. There's just no financial transparency between us. And I like that it was never a conversation that I had to have with you.
I'm a sweet boy.
You just came that way.
I'm a sweet boy.
And I'm also a sweet girl. Calm down. Let's I feel like I'm giving you too many compliments now. Your head is swelling.
You see, but so you don't comment me again.
No,
you're giving me compliment and collecting it. Oh, I don't give you.
The compliments are due. Like you deserve the compliments. Absolutely. I'm just saying that it's not the norm in a lot of cases.
I get that.
In a lot of cases, it's not the norm. So I like that we have that. And even like when we got to the UK and started setting up our lives, and we're like, okay, you have your job, I have my job, we need multiple sources of income. I like that we're able to also partner together and try and find ways to make extra money, and we're really open about what we're spending on what. This is what we need. We found this property.
Even if we disagree.
Yes, we always
at
find
least that connection is there.
We have exactly
that
find a way to get to an agreement. Like even when we wanted to buy one of the properties and I didn't want to buy that property, remember, and you were insisting that it was a good deal. We had a long conversation about it. I was like, no, we have to look at the math, because I'm like super analytical, and Chimezie likes finding magic in the unknown. And then we made the call to buy the property, and last we had to make it work, and he made it work. So there's been times when we've had really tough conversations about money. And it has been a blessing because we've been very open. There's nothing to hide. And that has really, helped our marriage. People always say, oh my God, marriage is so hard. Marriage is so hard. I don't know that I agree because it hasn't felt hard for me, and that's largely because of you. Because I'm sure for you it has felt hard because I'm not the easiest, but for me it has it hasn't felt hard because of him. But
I always say that as long as a marriage or a relationship or whatever you're doing has a net positive, then it's a good one. So, of course, there's no marriage that is perfect where, it's butterflies and roses every day.
yeah,
There'll be
yeah,
disagreements,
absolutely.
especially from one party who will be angry for 2 to 3 days and not talk to their partner. Their partner will be there sad, but it's okay. Um, but as long as it's net positive, and I think that's no, not that I think. I'm convinced that in our 9 years, it's been a super net positive. And so, whatever bumps on the road really doesn't matter, because 80, 90% of the time it's happy, we're
Yeah,
good. That's what's important for me.
yeah. And look, we haven't been married that long. It's just nine
9 years is a
years.
long time.
It is a long time, but there are many people that are married for 30, 40 years or whatever. And it's definitely not in my place
There's
to
some
give.
marriages that last 2 weeks.
It's true.
I read something on social media that I don't know if it's a made up story. That there's a couple that took out a loan to fund a lavish wedding.
Okay.
And
Why would they do
the
that?
marriage didn't last more than, was it 2 months or 3 months? So
If you
they're
have to
still
take
paying back
up
for that loan.
if you have to take up a loan to fund your wedding, then you have your priorities mixed up. I'm sorry. Do the wedding you can afford. So I guess that's fair, but I don't want to assume that I have any rights to give anybody marital advice.
I
But
have my advice. I have rights.
okay.
Let me tell. We're OGs.
We're not
Marriage.
OGs, it's
We're
just
OGs. It's
9 years.
9 years. See, we're OGs people that are not married.
Okay, true.
9 years is a long time. That's 2 World Cups.
And we're not just
That's
married,
nine
like
Champions
we're
Leagues.
not just staying in the marriage. We actually like each other. So we are together for
You like
the
me?
yeah.
You like me?
I like your lap, baby.
Okay. Thank you. I like it too.
I know, obviously.
Oh God, I'm making this my train of thought. Okay, I
You said
remember.
you're an OG, an OG.
I'm an OG, and I want to tell everyone who is watching this that has not yet married that your wedding is not important.
I agree.
The marriage is important, not the wedding.
I agree.
If you can, you carry your father, your mother,
Go
your
to Mr. Biggs,
in-laws,
guys. Go to
your
Mr.
siblings, go to Mr. Biggs, go to Mega Chicken, go to a restaurant, buy food, people eat, people gist, people
Well,
go
you
home.
need nice pictures at least.
What's the picture?
You can do a nice photo shoot.
When last you look at any of our wedding pictures?
I look at our wedding pictures when my phone reminds me. Like now, because our anniversary is coming up, my phone is showing me like pictures from there. So yeah, every year Google Photos will remind me that, and the pictures are nice, and it's a nice memory to have a
But
special day.
you're looking at
But
pictures
I agree that you shouldn't
of yourself, not of the guests.
of me and you and my family. Yeah,
That's what's important.
I agree.
Not the
There are a lot of
guests.
people at our wedding that really didn't need to be there. To be
There are people
honest.
that like nearly 95% of people that came for our wedding. I
Yeah,
don't talk
that
to
we
them
don't
anymore.
speak to. Yeah, and I agree that the wedding.
And some animals were now saying that the food was not enough, or the food was cold, or the food was, or the drink was.
There were some people that were upset that they didn't get invited. I'm like, I don't know you like that. There's some people that are really mature about not getting invited as well. And I guess for me, what I will say is that you don't need our wedding wasn't extravagant. Like at least we did not collect loan to do our wedding. Yeah,
It was pricey, Sha. The cost of that wedding made my eyes water.
it wasn't. Please, please,
That's
please.
what. But my story is.
Okay, so you are an OG. The wedding is not important, it's the marriage. Well, I guess what I was trying to say was more around marital advice. Um I think that if somebody were to ask me why or what is the biggest thing I'll say that has kept this marriage going? Beyond sort of like the typical answers of communication and whatnot, I feel like somebody knowing just how to love you is important, because I feel like with you and I, there is there are things that you do that just remind me that, okay, it's really me. My own love is very practical. Like, find ways to make my life easier, and I will love you. That's kind of it. You don't need to do the most. So Chimezie always finds ways to make my life easier. Like when he tells me, on weekends, so sleeping, I got the kids, or when he does things around the house, I don't have to bother with, or when he just takes care of gets like I'll just wake up and see that stuff is just off my plate. I'm like, oh, thank you, you did that. Or I come back from work and he's done the room, cleared everywhere, tidied everywhere. I'm like, oh, thank you. So those types of things those are the things that honestly that counts for me. And for me, those things are worth more than diamonds or gold. I don't even like gold. I react to gold. And I don't give a fuck about diamonds. So I think those just
So,
actions of
baby, if I
yes.
continue being a sweet husband, will
Yes.
you allow me to buy my airsoft gun?
No, please let's not discuss that on Brunch and Banter.
But
Okay, so I've gone on and on about how sweet you are as a husband, and I don't seem to be hearing how sweet I am as a wife,
you haven't finished now.
which
Won't you finish?
is
Do you want me
making
to
me feel
interrupt you? Do
like,
you want me to interrupt you?
guys, let me not lie. Let me report myself before he reports me. I am a terrible wife.
That's not true. Don't say that. Don't say
I'm
that.
the worst.
Don't say that.
I'm
If
like,
you are, if you are, I think the greatest compliment I can give is that if all these things you said about me, if you
yes,
are a bad person, fundamentally,
yeah. No, I didn't
you
say
won't
I
be
was a
seen.
bad person.
You won't be
I just
seen
said
if you're
I'm
a
a
bad
bad
wife or a
wife.
bad mother or anything. You
No,
won't be
I don't think
seen.
I'm a bad mother, but I think I'm a bad
Why do
wife.
you think you're a bad wife?
I think I think you put a lot more effort into this marriage than I do.
I don't know if you
And
see that.
I have to be really self-aware for me to be able to admit that.
I don't know. Why do you feel that way?
I don't know. I feel like, times when you're like, oh, let's plan things together. Like there are times when you're like, oh, can we have morning coffee together so we can spend time together? Can we have like you're always trying to find things for us to spend time together. For me, I need to plan. I love to plan like the big things, like the once in a year trips, the big summer vacations that we go on. I love to plan those things. But Chimezie loves
But
to
given what you
plan
just said now, that's not you
the
being a bad wife.
small,
It's
everyday
us
things that
complementing each other.
counts. Yeah, true.
So you like the big planning, which is
Yeah,
like I know that when it comes to vacations and stuff, leave it for you. But the
yeah,
smaller things like going to a local, like
yeah,
that place that I said we should go to do the axe train and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I can handle that. So it's us complementing each other, and that
Yeah, like
works.
you do a lot of the every because I'm like, if the entire marriage had to rest on once a year holiday, it wouldn't really survive. But just the everyday care and attention to making sure that we connect, and how you will say, oh, let me rub your back so you can sleep.
I mean,
Like,
oh
guys,
God,
for
and
Christmas,
it's sweet
Chimezie got me like this pedicure set.
mistake.
And
Mistake. I
and
regret it.
I'm yapping him like, oh, so you got me a pedicure set so that you will not be giving me £60 every time I want to go do a pedicure, right?
No, that's not what happened.
And he
That's
said,
not, no, 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 that's
yeah.
not happened. The reason why I got the pedicure sets is because I wanted to use that as a time to spend time with my wife so that I can do her pedicure herself. We can talk, we can
Yeah.
bond. That's why I
Yeah.
got it. It's not because of,
Yeah. That's what he said. And that's the reason he wants to spend time, which is fair. Like, and because he's always doing things like that, looking for ways for us. Because sometimes work and life can get away from us, and we might not be, but he's really deliberate about finding ways for us to spend time together. That's why I said he puts a lot of effort into that. Me, I'm like, oh, where are we going this year? Let me plan one big trip, la la la. La. That's kind of what I do. But the everyday type things that Chimezie is always thinking of. So the pedicure set was a Christmas gift. I'm like, okay, now that we have it, and then he got the thing, the whole kit, like the electric thing that'll do your foot, like everything. And then the first time, so I was a big skeptical, like, does this guy really know what he's doing? But he even went on YouTube or something and checked how to do it. Because when he did the pedicure, I'm like, how do you know how to do this? And he's like, yeah, I figured it out. So I mean, he actually went on YouTube. And it was really good. Like, my feet were smooth. I was feeling the vibe. I was like, okay, I see you.
That was with bath salts.
I like, he even put bath salts in the pedicure thing. I was so happy. So, since I have a pedicure set, a pedicure machine in the house with a pedicurist, I'm now like every week, I'm like, can I have a pedicure, please? And now he started complaining.
If you are paying for the pedicure from your pocket, you go to spa every week.
Yes, well, maybe not every week, maybe like once in 2 or 3 weeks. But since I have it at home, anytime there's a little bit of callus on my feet, or anytime my feet feels even slightly rough, I'm like, yeah, pedicurist, hello, can I have a pedicure now? And he's like, oh, why are you grumbling? I was like the one that said to buy pedicure sets.
And this, like her sister Ike says, I use my hand to buy toilet for myself. So since we started dating, I had the penchant of using my hand to find trouble. That's how I used to go and buy a dog for you.
Oh, proud.
I thought I was being romantic. I said, let me buy a puppy for you that is nice, cuddly Yorkshire Terrier that you will love and you take care of, and you can put your hand back. This dog, with peace.
I just didn't trade her, but I love her.
That your old house in Bagada.
I know.
Always smell of urine. Because that dog,
that house was so lovely before that dog came in.
It would pee on the sofa.
I didn't have the time to train her, and she became so badly behaved.
No.
She was very badly behaved.
Now, this pedicure set, I might be sleeping at 3 a.m. I just hear pedicure. Why?
That's not true. Don't exaggerate.
Well, it's been great, and I appreciate all the compliments and everything. But I'm just reflecting you, and I think I've told several people, my friends, that when you're getting married, when you're choosing a partner, one of your considerations should be, part of your considerations should be: A, do you fear the person? B, do you respect the person?
You said that to me before.
Those are two very important things, because if you don't have those feelings, maybe both, either of them, you'll most likely just ignore your partner and you just be doing. Well,
I don't want you to fear me.
I fear your reaction.
Okay.
To fair. Bad behavior.
Fair. Yeah.
Which is valid.
Yeah, which is valid, yeah.
So I fear your reaction to bad behavior, and I respect you for who you are and everything you have accomplished.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah, I'm just a reflection of, if you are a bad wife, if I didn't respect you, anything, I'll just be a funny guy. So it's been great. So I think my regret is that
I make you better?
Yes.
Yay!
So my experience of dating up to that point was, I didn't learn a lot, but under your tutelage, I learned quite a bit.
Yeah. And I used to wonder, like, is it that you've not had girlfriend before? So you've not dated a woman, because I don't understand this behavior.
Bola looks at me. Has looked at me several times and said,
she said so.
That she didn't believe.
She can't
that
compare. She can't reconcile.
She cannot reconcile. When I was a
wildcat.
I was a wildcat. I was I had an important position that got into my head. Truthfully, if I had the opportunity, I would have done things differently. But it got into my head, so, and I had a lot of money, so I was just all over the place. So my temperament,
And you didn't have a wife to ground you.
I didn't have a good wife.
A good wife to ground you.
So my temperament then was very different. So she's looking at me now, a reserved, quiet,
But you've always been
head on the
somewhat
swivel, dad.
reserved.
Yeah.
You've always been somewhat reserved. I think there was a sense of living la vida loca and freedom that maybe came when you got recruited by Otisala to got your first apartment. There was that sense of, oh, I've arrived in life that maybe got to your head a little bit. And okay.
So let me explain. Bola used to see me primarily in office.
Yeah.
And in the office, because of the nature of my position, I was pretty powerful. So when I'm talking, I had like 100 or something vendors who used to come, and I was responsible for multiple things: approving new vendors on the network, approving new services, enforcement, to some degree, not really marketing, but I had a lot of responsibility, a lot of power. So I was pretty arrogant. I had to admit it, but I hate to admit it, but I have to. I was pretty arrogant.
I never saw that side of you anyway.
You won't say because you are not dealing with me on a professional level. So there are some people, of course, that like Doku now, for example. I like Doku because when Doku approached me, when I met him for the first time, it was nice, reserved. Doku is very respectful. He knows how to speak. So we got along very well. And there are people like that. But there are some other people who, were just animals. So we didn't get along. And I think Bola was looking at me from that professional lens then, and then looking at me now, and just comparing both of them. So yeah, I'm very different. And I think that a lot of it is down to my experience with you. Like, I don't know if I should say this, but when I get angry, I tend to shout a lot. But I never shout at you.
Never.
Because one day, you gave me further warning.
Yeah.
You said in your life, there is a voice at me. My anger, it just evaporated. I was in shock. I'm not even angry. I was in shock.
I don't know if I offended you or what happened that day, but ever since I was a child, the worst thing you can do is yell at me. I'm like, that doesn't work for me. Even my parents, when they used to yell at me, was really emotionally triggering. So I'm hanging out with my boyfriend. I don't know, we're having a disagreement. And this man started raising his voice. Yeah. I'm like, what? I am not the one. Don't even. And I lost it. I'm like, don't you ever in your life think it is okay to raise your voice at me. Not gonna happen. Don't do it. That was the first and last time that Chimezie ever raised his voice at me.
Now, let me tell you the difference between you and I. If the roles were reversed and I told you this thing, it would be a 1-year fight.
It's true.
It would be a 1-year fight. Me, I took correction and I did better.
It's true.
You, in fact.
No. I don't know that I agree. I agree. See, the way that I warned you about it was really aggressive because I was triggered, right? And if you had done that to me, it would have triggered me even more. I would have shouted even more. That's the truth. Because you know that the way to warn me is not like that because I would not have received it well. But if you set boundaries with me before as well. You said...
I don't think so.
Really? You've not set any boundary. So you don't have any boundary. No, you have. You've set boundaries with me before. Remember, you told me certain things that were deal breakers for you. Think. So you don't have any deal breakers. See, I even know him more than he knows himself. I know your deal breakers because you told me and I never forgot them. Now,
like what?
I don't want to say them on the pod. You want me to expose all your deal breakers?
Don't worry.
There was something you said about your parents. That was a deal breaker for you. There was something you also said about fidelity. That was a deal breaker for you. There was something you said about...
You know me better, I know myself.
about respect. We had this conversation before you got married.
Because even as a thing, I don't know.
Okay, let's move on. So yeah, if you had yelled at me in that manner to go, don't you ever say that to me, I would have been like, I would say it. What do you want to do about it? I would have, and it would have been. But I was triggered. I was like, most times when I want to tell you something that I don't like, I don't do it in that manner. I'm a bit more composed. But that shouting, that thing triggered me properly. I was like, what's happening? What's happening? Are you shouting? No, 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 it cannot be me. So, but that was the first, thankfully, that was the first and last time. There was someone that lived with us for a while and was saying to me that I don't know how Aigbeme and Chimezie do it, but in this house, I've never heard them shout at each other. I was like, yeah, we don't yell. If we have a disagreement, we talk to each other about it in low tones and nobody's yelling at anybody. Nah, 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 nah. That doesn't happen. Nah. Nah,
There's no
cool.
need for all that unpleasantness.
Yeah. That's why when there's somebody that I know that shared what she was going through with her husband, and I think she played a voice note for me, and he was yelling at her, and she was yelling back, and they were saying the most vile things to each other. And then she even showed me some text messages that he sent her. This is her husband, though. And he was using words like, you know, like prostitutes, like
Damn.
useless to his own wife.
Damn.
And I'm not the one to tell people, divorce this guy. But I was like, you need to leave this nigga. And I'm like, this is not acceptable behavior. There's no way a man that speaks to you in this manner respects you or loves you. This is not gonna work. Nah. Nah, 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 nah. It's not acceptable behavior. And then she's like, yeah, that she kind of knew and everything.
Did she take your advice? Do I know this person?
Yeah. But we're not naming names. I'm not trying to figure it out.
You know my memory is not the best.
I know, is it old age?
It says I'm an old man now. You married me in my pride, in my youth.
He also married me in my youth. And then impregnated me twice.
The second time was it.
Actually, three times. One of them didn't make it.
That's when that motherfucking womb watcher was asking stupid questions.
Yeah.
Man, fuck that.
So, guys, let me tell you this story real quick. When we got married, I think it was in our first year or our second year when I first got pregnant.
Idiots came to the wedding. Came to the wedding with her husband. They didn't give us presents. She's watching your womb.
So I'd gotten pregnant, and a couple of weeks, I think it was 8 weeks or 9 weeks later, I was in the office when I just felt something gush out of nowhere. And then I go into the bathroom and I'm like blood, and there's blood everywhere. I called my driver to bring the car up front, and then I get in the car going to go to the hospital. They just told me that I was miscarrying, and then they gave me a pill to pass out the fetus. And it was a very emotional time because I was like, oh, I want to have a baby, da 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 da. But yeah, the baby just passed on. Then, like a week later, we were at Chimezie's parents' house. There was a family event, so there were some extended family members at the event, and one of his aunties comes to me and goes, Madam, you have been in this family now for how long? Has it not been 2 years since we married you? I'm like, yeah. No, it wasn't even up to 2 years, it was a year plus. It's not been more than a year since we married you. I'm like, yeah. They said, so why have you not given birth? Why am I not seeing your belly growing? Like, not pregnant though. Say, I will give you some herbs that'll help you be pregnant. But I know you should be pregnant. I was like, excuse me, ma'am. Normal Aigbeme, I would have smacked her I would have beat her ass. But I was trying to be respectful of the fact that I was in your parents' house and she was your auntie and she was older than
You should
me,
have slapped her.
etc. etc. So I leave the room. I leave the house. Actually, I'm on the streets by the car, but he had the key to the car. The car was locked, and then I call him. I'm like, "Yeah, we're leaving," and I was already crying. I was really emotional. I'm like, "Can you just come out? Let's go. Like, I'm not staying in this house anymore. Like, this woman has pissed me off." And then he comes out, and then I think your mom came out as well. I don't know when your mom came out, but you came out, and then I told you what happened. Then I think you called your mom before you stormed back in, but I'll let you continue the story because I didn't follow you back in.
Yeah, so when you called me and I heard your voice, I knew something was really wrong. So I rushed outside and said, "What happened?" And you were like, "Let's go, let's go. Like, you want to go? You want to take me home? Take me home." I'm like, "What happened? What happened? What happened? Tell me what happened." She was like, "No, no, no, take me home." And I said, asked you to tell me what happened. And you told me, you know how Incredible Hulk
I know. You may say the happy-go-lucky guy, but when he's angry, it's the scariest thing. I
I
don't like.
now called Mom
I
C.
don't like when he's angry.
I
Other people
told
get
Mom
him angry
C.
though.
I told Mom C that she should come. So she rushed out because she knew something was wrong. I don't normally call her
Yeah.
like that. And then she rushes out and she was like, "What happened?" And I tell her and I go back in. And in front of everybody, I say, I don't know if I spoke to her directly, but I say, "That thing you tried my wife, don't try it again in your life. Don't do it." And there were maybe like 10,
There are a couple of people there,
like, it
right?
was a full house. That thing you tried my wife, don't try it again in your life. And everyone asked me, "What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened?" But because, these guys are maybe significantly older than I am, I didn't want to cuss out and everything. So I just gave her that further warning and I said, "You know what? I'm going home." Now, Monsi was still with you, I think. And then I told her, "We're going home." She said, "Okay, no problem. Now she'll come later." So when I had the car, I went home. But you are really upset. And
Yeah.
for me, like, why watching somebody else's womb
I
when
know. And honestly,
since
guys,
since we
binge
had two
watching
children,
not cool.
since we had two children, this idiot has not come to say, "Oh, how are children?" When they are sick at 2 a.m., she has not said anything. When it's time for to pay school fees or to buy clothes or to feed them or to take them out or to do homework with them, she doesn't do anything. So what are you watching somebody's fucking womb for?
I don't know why people do that because you don't even know, number one, because this was literally a week after we miscarried. So I was feeling really distraught, and he was as well. He was feeling really bad about the whole miscarriage thing. And I was just trying to recover. And then somebody's coming to ask me, "We've not seen you pregnant." You don't even know what people are going through. You don't know the emotional turmoil. You don't know what they're
We're not
dealing
seeing
with.
pregnancy. You're
You understand?
only interested in the child. So you come and eat rice
Exactly.
and drink big
What's your
stouts.
business whether I'm pregnant or not? This is like an extended family.
Even my
Like,
own siblings,
it's crazy.
I would never ask them, "Oh, what are your marriage plans or what are your wedding plans or what are your children plans?" As if you tell me and ask me for advice,
Yeah.
then I'll give it to you. But I'll not try. Like, why? Even children, who is my best friend after you, of course, my
Of
dear.
course.
I never ask him any stupid question. If he tells me stuff, then
Yeah.
I can respond to it. But you, a distant relative from nowhere, is asking a woman who you don't have any relationship with, why? Are you mad?
Yeah. I didn't have any relationship with this woman. She wasn't my
Fucking
friend. She barely, I don't even remember her name, that I barely knew her name. So it was quite, she was definitely trying to be a busybody and it was just uncalled for. I didn't even want to cause a scene because I'm like, you're in your in-laws house, da 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 da. Because I knew that if I even told Chimezie would go Hulk Hogan. I'd be Incredible Hulk on the issue, which he did, But I just had to tell him, I'm like,
very stupid.
this behavior is not cool. And I know that as women, there's always that pressure, oh, you'll be married, how far, how far, how far. But honestly, you need to let people be. It's wrong, it's uncalled for,
It's not even
and
our
it's also
place. Who
insensitive.
made that head of the
It's not your
women's union
business. It's just not your
that
business.
you be policing people's wombs? Who made you head of police women union?
I don't know.
Idiots.
And I've never, ever in my life walked up to any woman in any place, anywhere, and asked her about her reproductive status. And I can't wrap my head around how people do that. It's just not your business.
It's not your fucking
It's
business.
just not your business. And that's the thing that I hope that people take to heart is that it's not your business.
Let me tell you, Mal, and you feel
Okay.
bad when I tell you my own too.
You tell me
The
your
first one
situation.
was when we had NATO.
What happened when we had NATO?
Thank you for that question. I'll tell you. You know, you were in hospital for a few days, and
Yeah.
then NATO was in the NICU.
Mm.
And then when they discharged you,
Yeah.
he was still in the NICU. So they were keeping him in NICU and said we could go home.
Yeah, that was hard.
And then we get into the car. It was like a 45-minute drive from the hospital. 45 minutes drive.
Yeah, I felt like it was
It was a
longer.
long drive.
Yeah.
So we get in the car. I drive you home. And this is me that has been in hospital sleeping on the couch for 2 days before
I
that.
think for context, we had NATO in the US.
Yes.
So we're living in an Airbnb that was quite far from the
Yes.
hospital.
Yeah.
And then the drive back and forth was a lot.
Was a long drive.
I had a C-section. So I was in the hospital for 2 nights. NATO was in the hospital for 3 nights. So when they discharged me, they told me, leave your baby and go home. That was insane to me. I'm like, how can I leave my baby here? It makes no sense. But you came to pick me up.
No, I was there.
You were there, like you
So
were
when
there
they discharged you,
yeah.
I said we could take you home. You were like,
Yeah.
you couldn't leave NATO, you couldn't leave NATO. But they said, he had to stay. So I drove you home. And this was me tired. I just thought I wanted to go
It
back
had been
home.
very stressful for you those
Sleep.
2
It was
days.
an emotionally,
Yeah.
physically, mentally stressful period.
Yeah.
So when we get
it
back
wasn't
home,
an easy birth. I know
like you were
stressed.
crying
Yeah.
during the drive home.
Yeah.
We now get back home to the flat.
Airbnb. Yeah.
And then we go inside. And I said, okay, let me just catch my breath. So I lie down and I just started dozing off when you woke me up. I said that your heart couldn't take it, that you wanted to go back and be with NATO, that your heart can't take it. I was like, God, take my life. God, take my life. I was like, when you've been fighting on the front lines for like 1 year, I was so tired. But I knew that you will not have slept that day without. Don't do it's sorry. Should we cut? Yes. Okay. But it makes for good cinema. You cried out. Sorry.
It was a really tough. It was really tough. I don't know, 3 days.
Chai, baby, I've paused this podcast. I'm crying.
Sorry, I can't help it. Okay, so continue. Sorry, we had to cut this. It wasn't. It just took me back to that period.
It was a tough period, to be sure.
Yeah.
But I just remember that, I knew that I couldn't leave you because I couldn't talk you out of it because you wanted to be with me that night. So I had to summon up whatever reserves of energy I had and drive you back. And then, unfortunately, when we got back there, they only allowed us for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, because we were closing the NICU.
So we could only you could only hold him for like 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then put him back. But luckily, I think the next day, I was taking him home.
Yeah, so we went home and I was crying all night, right? And then I woke you up really early, I think like 5 a.m. I was like, we have to go back to the hospital. And I'm like, I'm getting my kid out of there today. So when we go back to the hospital, the thing I was just telling us that I'm like, I don't know why he's here. There's nothing wrong with him. You guys said that he might have had an infection. I need to know what is wrong. Why is he still here? Then I said, oh, they still need to run some tests, and then they will let me know that they thought he might have jaundice, but they put him under the photosensitive lights, but he didn't really have jaundice. I'm like, so why is he here? So we sat there the entire day, and then they discharged him in the evening, and then we got to take him home. And then things now sort of, when we got home, we now sort of started settling into a routine before we had to fly back to Nigeria. But it was really, that day was really, that birth was tough. That NATO's birth was tough. But that's a story for another day.
But yeah, I think that's
Okay,
all we have time for
that's all
today.
we have time for today, guys.
Which was fun.
Yeah, it was fun reminiscing with you and
Yeah.
just yeah, gisting with you guys. And we loved hosting you guys on Brunch and Banter. Guys, if you love our content or you enjoyed watching us,
Did I tell you that this
please.
noodles was delicious?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, the noodles was delicious.
Thank you. I quite like it. Guys, I'm really open to posting recipes. I post all the recipes on my TikTok. I can post it on Brunch and Banter as well. You guys just tell me what you want. But please click that subscribe button, like, follow, share, support our content if you like it. And that's it. We'll see you guys next week, okay? Bye.
Bye.